Welcome back to FluentFlow. Today, we're diving into something deeper than grammar rules or vocabulary lists. We're talking about fear, specifically the deep-seated fear of being vulnerable when learning English. Think about it. Every time you open your mouth to speak, you feel like you are taking a risk. You risk embarrassment, you risk judgment, and you risk being misunderstood. For many of us, this goes beyond just making a mistake. It's about identity. In your native language, you are intelligent, funny, and articulate. But in English, you might feel like a child, unable to express your complex thoughts or your true personality. That gap between who you know you are and how you sound right now is painful. And it makes you want to hide. It makes you want to stay silent until you are perfect. But here is the hard truth. Perfection is not the goal. Connection is. And you cannot connect with others if you are building a wall to protect yourself from mistakes. That risk you are trying to avoid, that is the very doorway to fluency. If you avoid it, you stay stuck in the intermediate plateau forever, knowing the rules, but never playing the game. But if you embrace it, if you lean into that discomfort, that is when you grow. This is the hidden 90% of fluency that most learners ignore. We spend all our time on the mechanics, the logic of the language, but we ignore the psychology of the speaker. Today, we're going to change that. We are going to learn how to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. We're going to discuss why vulnerability is actually your strongest tool. And I'm going to give you the mindset shifts you need to stop trying to be impressive and start being expressive. So, if you're ready to stop letting fear make your decisions for you, take a deep breath. Let's dive in. Before we go any further, I want you to do something for me. I want you to physically drop your shoulders right now. Let them fall. We carry so much tension, but you cannot learn when you are tight. So take a deep breath in and let it out. And as you settle into this space, if you feel safe here, take a gentle moment to click the like button or subscribe. It's a quiet signal to yourself and to me that you are ready to stop rushing and start learning. Now clear the slate. Let's look at why you freeze. The silent barrier. This is what I call the silent barrier. It is that strange, frustrating paralysis where you know the words, but you physically cannot push them out. You freeze. Why does this happen? It's not because you're stupid. It's not because you haven't studied enough. It happens because to your brain, speaking a foreign language feels dangerous. It feels like walking out onto a stage naked. When you speak your native language, you are in control. You are funny, intelligent, witty, and professional. You have status. But the moment you switch to English, you feel like you lose that status. You feel vulnerable. You worry that if you make a mistake, people won't see you, the intelligent adult. They will just see the mistake. They will see a child. That fear of losing your mask of competence is what creates the barrier. Your brain is trying to protect your ego, so it slams the brakes. It chooses silence over the risk of looking foolish. The mask of perfection. And this leads us directly to the second trap, the mask of perfection. Because that feeling of vulnerability is so uncomfortable, many learners try to hide. And the best place to hide is behind a textbook. I see this constantly. Learners tell me, I'm not speaking yet because I need to finish this advanced grammar course first. Or, I'm just going to memorize 500 more words, then I'll start having conversations. They are waiting for readiness. They treat fluency like a destination they have to arrive at before they open their mouths. They think, one day I will wake up and my English will be perfect, and then I will speak without fear. But here's the hard truth. Readiness never comes. It is a mirage. You can study for 10 years. You can memorize the entire dictionary. But the first time you step into a real, unpredictable conversation, you will still feel clumsy. You will still feel exposed. Textbooks are safe. They don't talk back. They don't use slang you've never heard. They don't interrupt you. Real life does. Hiding behind perfectionism is just a way to avoid the messiness of being human. But you cannot learn to swim by reading books about water. Eventually, you have to get wet. The emotional weight. And when you finally do try to speak while holding on to this perfectionism, you encounter the emotional weight. This is the physical reality of fear. When you are terrified of making a mistake, your body reacts. Your shoulders go up, your stomach tightens, your breathing gets shallow. This creates physical tension. And here is the biology of fluency. Tension kills flow. When you are tense, your brain enters fight or flight mode. It shuts down the creative, expressive parts of your mind, the parts you need for language, and focuses only on survival. This is why you forget simple words you've known for years. This is why you stumble. When you speak from a place of fear, your English becomes mechanical. You aren't communicating, you are performing. You are frantically translating in your head, scanning every sentence for errors before you say it. It sounds robotic. It sounds dead. It lacks the rhythm, the emotion, and the soul of real communication. You might be grammatically correct, but you aren't connecting. So how do we break this cycle? How do we move from this frozen, tense, perfectionist state into a state of flow? We have to completely rewrite our definition of fluency. We have to accept that making mistakes is not a sign of failure, it is the cost of entry. We have to be willing to be vulnerable. And this brings us to the most important thing you will hear today. Fluency isn't about speaking perfectly. It's about speaking despite imperfection. Vulnerability is the bridge between silence and expression. If you stay on the side of safety, you stay silent. If you want to cross over to expression, you have to walk across the bridge of vulnerability. You have to be willing to be imperfect right here, right now. If this resonated with you, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to FluentFlow for more insights into mastering your language journey. What's one step you're ready to take today? Let us know in the comments below. Until next time, keep flowing.